This week, gold crashed 14% in just a single week, from $5,000 to $4,400. The thing everyone told you was the ultimate safe haven did something it hasn't done since 1983. Over $5 trillion in value just gone. And here's the paradox that nobody can explain. There is an active war in Middle East right now. Oil is above 100 a barrel. The exact conditions that are supposed to send gold soaring, and instead it's in free fall. Meanwhile, at this exact moment, BlackRock and other major institutions bought nearly $2 billion worth of Bitcoin 4 weeks in a row. These are people managing hundreds of billions of dollars. They know something that most people don't. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. So, why do they know that you don't? There is one simple number that explains everything: 21 million. There is a total amount of Bitcoin that will ever exist. It means at the end, we will have only 21 million Bitcoins, not one more. Only 21 million Bitcoin. This is a mathematical rule backed into the code. No government, no bank, no one can change it. Now, here's what makes that number so important right now. As of 2026, over 95% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist has already been mined. Out of those 21 million coins, fewer than 1.2 million are left to ever enter circulation. And every single day, that number gets smaller. BlackRock knows this. The question is, do you? So, why did the price drop in half? There is where most people get confused. If Bitcoin is so scarce, why did it fall from $126,000 to around $66,000? The answer is simple. Scarcity is one thing, price is another. Think of the best apartment in the best neighborhood in your city. One day, the market freezes. A leveraged fund gets a margin call and it forced to sell below real average, or let's say it forced to sell below real value. Did the apartment get worse? Did the neighborhood get worse? No. It just created an opportunity. Regular people sell when the price drops, but professional money buys when the price drops. That is not a coincidence. That is a strategy. They know the scarcity is real, even when today's price doesn't reflect it yet. So, why is gold crashing and what does it have to do with Bitcoin? Let's back to that headline. Gold hit an all-time high of $5,000 this year. And since then, it's in a free fall. Now, it's just lost over $7 trillion in value. And it happened during a war, that exact scenario gold is supposed to thrive in. Because gold has a problem that Bitcoin doesn't. Nobody controls its relationship with the macroeconomy. Let me explain it to you. This year, oil surged about $100. That ignited inflation. That forced the Fed to stay hawkish. And gold, which pays no interest, suddenly became less attractive against treasury bonds yielding over 4%. So institutions sold. None of that can happen to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has no yield relationship with the Fed or any macroeconomy. It doesn't compete with treasury bonds. It just exists in a fixed supply indifferent to all of it. This is exactly what major institutions are starting to understand. We are moving from an asset with unpredictable macro sensitivity to an asset with a fixed, permanent, mathematically guaranteed supply. So, where does the 738,000 come from? One simple question. If Bitcoin is replacing gold's role as a world primal store of value, what is it actually worth? Let me explain. The total market cap of all the gold in the world right now is approximately $31 trillion. If Bitcoin captures just half of the market, Not all of it, just half. Here's what each Bitcoin would be worth. $50.5 trillion divided by 21 million coins, so we would have 738,000 bucks per Bitcoin. That number didn't come from thin air. It comes from simple math, fixed supply, institutional demand, gold's structure weakness, so we would have higher price. Let me put everything into one sentence. When BlackRock is buying at $66,000, why the market is panicking, they didn't make a mistake. They just had more information. Now you have that information too. Fewer than 1.2 million Bitcoin left to ever be mined against billions of people who still own none. Gold just showed the world that even a 31 trillion safe haven can collapse during the exact crisis it was built for. Bitcoin's supply doesn't care about oil price. It doesn't care about the Fed. It doesn't care about war. So the door is closing, slowly but certainly. If this video showed you something that you hadn't seen before, hit the subscribe. My name is Bella and see you in the next video.